Hello, everybody. This is the 12th pitch event of GGW Sharks. It's been amazing so far. I've just looked at the statistics and shared with the investors. We had over 1,500 founders participated in the event for the past 12 events. This is amazing. Over hundreds of interests, and it's keep going. So thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing information about this event. This is so important. This is a free event. It's not just we want to emphasize it's free. We want to help. So every time you repost, share information about our event, it helps us to make this event great and bring more and more people for investors and bring more great investors for you. So please support us all the time on social media. Now, because Go Global World is the founder and sponsor of this event, I'll show you a few slides about what we do and why we exist. Go Global World is the global digital Silicon Valley. It's a platform and the app, two separate products. And we are helping startups with access to knowledge of how to start and scale a company, access to global network of founders and investors, and access to opportunities to raise capital like today's event. Now, we have new product, GGW app. It's part of our platform. Right now, it's a separate product, but will be merged with the main one soon. And this is the product where we will help you match you with the right investors, where you put your stunning, the best profile, put your 60-second elevator pitch to impress your investors. And if they like your product, then they will, you will be able to communicate with them. And so it will save you a lot of time on pitching to investors, and you will speak only with those who are interested, not those who are not willing to continue talking to you. And this is a snapshot. To register in there, you go to app.goglobal.world. And those who register in this app today or in the coming days will, in future, get a chance to pitch among the first. So we have the second event among after not only the Sharks event. We have Pitch to Global Investors program, which we run every three or so months, where we do screening and scoring of startups. And this is a very intense, great program to meet global investors. So these are just snapshot of the investors we have. It's primarily the US one, but we have from Europe, from China, from around the world. And it's plenty of them. And we are targeting those investors based on your criteria if you go through the end of the program. And before you meet top tier investors, we bring you to great angels and experts. They challenge you from all angles to identify your weak spots. And so we give you 3 to 4 weeks to address these challenges. And if you see the progress, then we accept you to the final demo day. As simple as that. And if you go through that step, then you become an alumni and you'll be on this very honored page of great startups who managed to raise capital, half of them at least raised from 500 to 10 million. Now, of course, not everyone is able to raise it so quickly, and we give you access to opportunities now, and the perk partners are giving you huge discounts to support your business. So most probably you use these services anyway, but we give you these great incentives to help you keep running and achieving your results faster. Now, if you are like in demand of filing taxes, accounting, payroll, you need to register a company, you need to issue stocks, something else, we will there to help. We have a dedicated separate team of doing this administrative work, so you forget about the administrative part and become the best solution for your customers. Now, the final thing before we jump into the event, we have launched a new community on Slack. You already know that we have on Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn. So we are now merging every single piece of network into one space. So it will be closed global network, only for verified founders and investors. And so if you want to be on this network, you need to register in our app.goglobal.world to be added to Slack as well. And if you want to be verified other ways, you can email us. So if you want to be there, this is the chance to get in there. Just email us, or better, faster, join the app right now. I'll send the link. I'll put the link right here in the chat. And so the Sharks event. This is the 12th Sharks event. Let's see who are the investors today. And we have amazing group of investors. As usually we have Duránd F, myself, Stash, and Kenma and Zamir Shukho. And before I let the Sharks to introduce themselves, I will introduce the rules for today. And it's important we all follow the rules. We'll make this event great and efficient. Please keep yourself muted all the time. I repeat it every time, and somebody always keep their microphone on, and it ruins the entire event. Please keep yourself muted. Raise your hand if you want to pitch. It's just 2 minutes, no more. You have a hard stop after 2 minutes of your elevator pitch. No slides. Don't expect to show your slides. It's only for new startups with sales, evidence of IP, and scalable business model. Please respect your time. This is, guys, 2 hours event, and we are trying to be on time because every one of us is busy, and we want to make this efficient. So please keep your answers to minimum of time, so it will help others to speak as well. And of course, GGW app members and our existing customers, they will pitch first. If you subscribe, and those who didn't pitch last time, they also get a priority today. We have 4 people from last event, so if I see them today, I will let them pitch among the first. And of course, if you don't get a chance to pitch this time, email us at this email, info@goglobal.world, and we'll make sure you will pitch among the first next event. Don't get upset about that. We want to let everyone to stand in front of investors and pitch your stunning projects. And of course, don't forget, this is also a networking event. We have investors in the chat, so you can connect, introduce yourself, and help out each other. Don't sell anything to each other, network. So what we expect from your 2-minute elevator pitch, keep it as a story. Get to the point of what you do. Why are you unique? And talk about your traction. So if you pitched before and you decided to repeat your pitch here in front of the same investors who saw you, just expect the question, what has changed? Because they will challenge you. They saw your pitch and they will challenge you. It's not possible for me to remember everyone who pitched before, so I probably might give you a chance to pitch, but the priority first for those who never pitched. So final statement I want to say, and every time I'm saying, by helping others, you help your own startup. It means that please help other founders, and you will get a lot of credibility from our global network. That's it on my end, and I'm welcoming the Sharks on our global event. And let's start with Zamir. Please introduce yourself, and you'll go one by one.
Thank you, Danil. Amazing numbers, 1,500 founders we've seen so far. Every event has been very exciting. I'm glad to see new faces. My name is Zamir Shukho, and I'm a GP of Vibranium VC Venture Fund. We are based in Silicon Valley. We invest in B2B SaaS companies which have a basic traction of around $40,000 monthly revenue. And I'll be happy to give you some feedback today. And I'll send my LinkedIn into the chat so you can reach me and connect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zamir. Great to have you. Sash, great to have you among our investors panel. Welcome to our pitch event. Please introduce yourself, your funds. Go for it.
Great. Thank you. It's so nice to be here. I am an investor at Venture Guides. We are an early stage infrastructure software, so think enterprise software investment firm. And we do at times hatch companies with founders for really interesting ideas, but the main thing that we care about is customer use cases, or at least a lot of market work to hear early customer and user stories. So looking forward to hearing the pitches.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Looking forward to hear your feedback. And everyone among the investors, if you select any of the startup you want me to connect, please explicitly say it during the event. So I will connect you via email with any founder you select, or won't if you don't. So it is the way it is. It's live. So if you don't select, founders won't be connected. It's you guys to decide. Thank you. Duránd, your turn.
Am I audible? Can everyone hear me? So my name is Duránd F. I'm 36 years old, originally from Detroit. I was born in Chicago, so super Midwest guy. And now I reside in Los Angeles. So for me, I want to take this opportunity to really introduce myself, because typically I want to yield all of the time to the entrepreneurs so we can get directly to the presentations. But I was the youngest investor in Detroit and also the startup founder of the year in 2016. And what I learned during the angel investing was you're probably not going to make the best bets if you're super conservative with your portfolio. And there's a really interesting correlation with the public markets, because what I always tell founders, every public company was once a private company. So it's a flywheel there. I'm a partner at a firm called M&D Ventures, which I share with my wife. She's here in the chat. That's our top layer venture capital firm. So we invest at the hatch stage all the way to post IPO. So even if it's an idea on a napkin, if we truly believe in the founder, because we're operators as well, we can make small investments. I also run a micro VC firm personally, where I make small angel investments between $5,000 to $50,000. In addition to, we invest in other funds with Davis & Davis Venture Partners, which is one of my partners. My goal for entrepreneurs is to really understand the crust of their business. Do they really understand the pathway to revenue, even if they haven't gotten there? And when they start talking about intellectual property, because that's my background, I'm always interested in how that works. So that's my long intro. I typically don't give that, and I'm super excited about some of the new people we'll get to meet today. And welcome, Sage. Nice to meet you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the intro. And Ken, your turn before we get started.
Awesome. So my past, I've been a founder, so I've been in an operator role as well. I got lucky with a couple startups, a couple good investments in the public markets, 55x stock portfolio. Then I made my way into venture. So I founded a small family office. We've invested in everything from data collection, robotics, and supply chain. In the past 23 investments, I've gotten 3 successful exits. And then by the end of Q3, we'll have another 2. So we'll have a rolling fund. Rolling Fund 1, probably looking at deploying capital from that specific fund in 2024. Everything right now I've been sourcing just for my own angel portfolio. At this point, I'm pretty much agnostic, really just trying to see where people are heading. Just like Duránd said, like I pretty much I like to take some risks. You kind of have to take risks to figure out, okay, is this actually feasible or is it not? So yeah, that's my short bio.
Thank you so much. So I have a small favor to ask the Sharks. Please keep this event emotional and actively give feedback to every single startup. So your opinion matters, and if you select anyone, we will connect you. Now let's jump right into the pitches, and the first presenter would be George JB. He didn't present last time, so you are now the first one to. George, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go for it. You got 2 minutes.
Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm George, founder of Stretchility, and I'm based in Vancouver, Canada. Stretchility automatically builds enterprise-class applications without writing code. 90% of complex enterprise software can now be written because it automatically is generated. All of you know how complex writing enterprise software is. What takes 20% months to do, we can do in 3% months. What takes 2 months to develop, it can be done in 2 days now. Now, this technology is called low code, and there are a lot of players out there. It's not new. And I expect that the enterprise software trillion-dollar market is going to completely transform to low code. The big players are focusing on tier 1, the Mendix, OutSystems, and the others. There are also lots of small players who can do only small applications. We focus on tier 2 and tier 3 and startup companies who need to build complex applications. And there's a huge underserved market out there. And we have done a lot of nuances for this. We have 10 customers. We have 5,000 users in 40 countries, in 15 apps. We have 100K in revenue. And we have 2 angel investors so far, one from the Valley, senior executive, and another person from Toronto, both of whom have already completed their exits. We are raising 500K. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And dear Sharks, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. George, hi. Thank you for a brief presentation. Now, how will the ChatGPT-4 affect your business? Because it's pretty easy to write a code with that technology now.
When you write complex applications, ChatGPT is pretty inaccurate. We believe that we are in a better position to use the innovations coming out of ChatGPT because we've already automated 90%. We only need to do the last 10%. And we expect that the last 10% will be done with the OpenAI technologies that are coming up with AI. So we expect to reach 100% very fast and very soon, but we're only still experimenting. We believe it's still, generative AI is still, I'd say, inaccurate still for use in production grade applications. We're using Copilot and the others for accelerating work, but it's not really there.
Any more questions?
Yeah, go ahead, Sage.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, low code is very general. Do you have a specific edge or specific area that you're trying to target within that application development area?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, that the big players, the ServiceNow and the OutSystems, Mendix, are all focused on enterprise tier 1. That's where the money is. And there are a lot of other players, there are lots of players who are doing very small apps like Bubble and Power Apps, but they can't do big apps. Our focus is on tier 2, tier 3 companies who want complex enterprise apps. So that combination is underserved.
So what have you built into your company that lets you focus on the tier 2, tier 3 better than the players that target tier 1?
Yeah, what we've done is, apart from the fact that we automatically generate, we have built about 200 pre-developed processes, which are typically used by these companies. The common ones like travel expenses and things like that. These are all available as libraries. Lots of these applications. So people can start off and run fast, and they don't start from a base, from nothing. They're starting from most of it already done, adjust it and use it for their requirement. And we are also, we realize that this market, we need the support of tech service providers. So we are partnering with a lot of tech service providers to get there. And that's the way to reach this market.
Hey, George. So I have two-part question, one on the corporate governance and then the other on the technology. I'll start with corporate governance. Is the company, is it headquartered in India?
The company is headquartered in Canada, Vancouver, and we have a dev team in India.
Okay, so what about the actual corporation? Is you have a U.S. entity?
We don't have a U.S. entity, but we're planning to do a holding company that will have everything together as soon as the institutional round is raised. Right, it's not regional.
Got it. And is that holding company going to be sanctioned in America, whereby the company you operate now will become a subsidiary, or will be the reverse?
We are ready to do whichever the first investor is ready. As long as someone's ready to put that 500K, we're ready to put it in whichever country it is. It's Canada or US. We're ready for that.
So let me understand it again. You're holding your development or your corporate governance hostage until the investment?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because as far as we're concerned, we can transfer the IP to wherever the country it's like, for example, let's say someone's putting in the investment. We just need to start up a holding company there, and we need to make the others a subsidiary of that holding company.
Understood. So what's the pre-money on the 500,000? You didn't mention that.
Yeah, see, the valuation so far invested by the previous company was the previous investors were 3 million, and they have invested. Okay, so that's the previous investment. Now, as far as the next investment is concerned, the intention is to raise 500K. Now, the valuation specifically, I can get into details. We can have a detailed discussion on that.
It's hard for me to know exactly where you stand, like financially, if I don't understand the valuation.
Yeah. So no, sorry. The valuation expecting right now is at 4 million.
That's 4 million pre or 4 million post?
4 million pre. 4 million pre.
Okay. Now, on the technology side, so explain this to me, because no matter if you're providing the low code to no code for the enterprise, the technology is still being built by someone else. So who is the team that's actually building out the initial technology so that it has a framework? So when you take it to the enterprise, when they interface with technology, it's super simple. But before that, there's a source code layer whereby either you and your team have to be really, really good to ensure that you can maximize this particular build out. And how does that work with your engineering team communicating with the new engineering team of the company that you're selling to? And how will they actually know that you guys are the best guys to manage that code, whereby they don't have to interface with the code that much because it's low code, no code? So I want to know about, at the layer when you guys build it out, how does that work with your engineering team to the engineering team that you're selling the enterprise solution to?
First of all, we have built it with, I call it as a lot of best practices. I come from 33 years of experience. I have a team that's pretty experienced. So we build all the best practices in security and stuff into the generated code. And so it meets whatever's needed, and it's sort of being used by big companies also. Now, as far as the layer that you mentioned, we generate out standard code, and the customer has two options. Option A, generate the application, use it for a year and exit, and they proceed from there. The other option is we manage it for them. Our platform manages, and they use the platform to continue to generate the application. These are two options that the customer can do. By choosing the second option, the advantage is they are relying on our ability to generate the right code, and they continue to use us. A lot of our customers are now doing that. The initial customers said, just generate it, give us the code, and we will run it from there. So both options are still there right now.
Now, last question. So what's your thinking around, you said that you're raising $500,000 at a $4 million pre, that gives you a $4.5 million post valuation, which means you're valuing the company at this investment at 9 times revenues. Can you give me some color on that?
Yeah, the whole reason is there's a lot of investment that goes into building something. It took almost 15 years of R&D to get where we are. I ran an IT services company before this. And we stopped that services company, took a lot of the IP from there, and realized that this is the way to go. Stop that company and continue this. So anybody who builds something like this is going to take 3 years, even if they're a big company, 3 years to build something like this ground up. So the value essentially is not from the revenue perspective, but the value is getting a platform like this that can build enterprise class application. Done, ready right now, and it's needed in the market right now.
All right.
Got it. Thanks, Joyce. Appreciate it. That's all from me.
Yeah, I had a quick question. You said you had $100,000 in revenue. How much of that is recurring for this year, or is that through lifetime?
Yeah, the recurring is about 75K this year. That's the recurring revenue. Rest is services.
And so that's with 10 users or 10 paying clients?
Yeah, 10 clients and 15 applications.
Okay. And so extension to my next question. So you had 15 years of R&D and development. Outside of the R&D, it's kind of a long period of time. Or, why do you only have 10 users or 10 paying customers?
Yeah, see, we didn't really start this until 2 years back, because we were running a services company. And what we did at that time was to keep ourselves lean and mean when we deliver building applications for customers. So we kept on building these components and technologies all the time. And we reached a point where we said, look, now is the time to give this to others, because we're using it ourselves. It's very efficient. Why not build it as a platform and give it to the others? So when I say we didn't consciously do the 15 years of R&D, we were kept building these components, functions, tools, a lot of things that kept building up. And that moved into a platform 2 years back. And it was COVID, so we really couldn't get too far in the last 2 years. So that's the reason why scaling hasn't happened so far. But the platform is very mature. Our largest customer, for example, is a $10 billion company, which has 800 users in 120 countries.
All right.
Gotcha,
No more
gotcha.
questions?
So,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, the main reason I was asking is usually when you're an early stage founder, you're building out a product, you're usually just you're asking questions with your potential customers, trying to figure out product market fit. And so I was wondering, like, over this time period, I mean, you should have pretty significant wait lists, at least of like, hey, we're doing iterations while we're building out this product. We're saying that these features could be really good for business XYZ. But I didn't really see that there was, you didn't really elaborate that on your story.
Yeah, it's essentially around what tier 2 and tier 3 needs. There's a real need out there in terms of companies needing complex applications and just not able to do it, not enough budgets, not enough time frames. So I'd say that the need is there, but reaching it in a cost-efficient manner is the difficult part. I wouldn't say I've reached product market fit out there, I'm being honest. And that's why I'm not really going for anything larger than this. But there is a huge market. I can see it. Every single senior executive in small and medium businesses has this need. And so that's a huge market. And how to reach them in an efficient manner is really the problem. And we're doing a bunch of things to make that happen.
All right. No more questions, I guess, right? Thank you so much. Let's move on to the other people and give us opportunities to pitch. If any of the investors would like to connect with you, they will explicitly tell me afterwards. And please keep promoting and joining our events. We're moving to the next person.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person is David Mead. David has pitched before. He's multiple founders and had one pretty good exit. So he will probably say us what's new he has. David, are you here?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you got 2 minutes.
Thank you. Hi, I'm David Mead. I'm the CEO of Terra Bioforge. I sold my previous company, Lucigen, for $70 million, and I invented a molecular cloning tool that sold nearly $1 billion of product through Thermo Fisher. Terra Bioforge is a commercial stage company with a portfolio of genetic engineering technologies that allows us to manufacture microbial-based drugs at a fraction of the pharma cost. We can do this much faster, months instead of years and decades. And we've done this for over 100 times as a fee for service. We have strong IP and revenues. And as a matter of fact, we've just onboarded $250K in revenues this quarter, and we just got an SBIR NIAID grant awarded. We're looking to raise $2 million in a seed round for commercial growth of 3 pipeline products. The go-to-market strategy is to reduce the production of several costs for several very expensive drugs, saving about $1 billion a year. And we can license those savings for $100 million a year, and we can repeat that for others. The exit strategy is to patent protect the production of these existing valuable drugs and then license or sell the asset. It's about a 50x return on investment. And we have a group that will invest $500K once we have a lead investor. So looking forward to connecting, and thank you very much.
50x on return on investment. Fantastic. All right. Thank you. Any questions?
What now? How much are you guys raising again?
$2 million on an $8 million pre-money.
And so, explain it, the thinking around the $500,000. What was the conversation like? Why is it being held until you have a lead investor?
Sure. One of our co-founders is a professor at the University of Wisconsin, and WARF, the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation, will put in $500K, but they will not lead.
Got it. And there's no way that you guys could have worked out some type of escrow structure where they can hold the capital in escrow?
Not with WARF.
Okay.
That's an interesting idea, but they're pretty hard fast about this. Get a lead and we'll follow.
All right. So I guess I do have what's been your pathway? What type of conversations have you had with investors? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is a pretty specialized niche, and it takes a sophisticated investor to understand it and make sure it's not a Theranos thing. So it's a hard thing to understand for most lay people.
So Elizabeth Holmes have made the market like scope for you guys.
Well, she screwed up biotech. This is synthetic biology of natural products, but she's hurt a lot of biotech. Yeah.
How about this? I'm going to connect you with my CTO. One of the smartest minds. He programs in over 17 programming languages, front end, back end. He's from Detroit, just like me. And this guy can literally get into the bank. If he say that you got what you really got, he's a science guy. He's the science of science guys. Then I would love to have a conversation with you about this, for sure.
Thank you very much. Oh, that'd be wonderful.
All right.
But I have had some conversations with bigger VC types. And when you get a PhD on the other side of the screen, oh, I get it. This makes great sense. It's just we're so small potatoes for most of these guys. They just pass. So
yeah, so you can look in the chat. I think Chris is in the room. So Chris, let's connect with him and let's really look and see what you have here, because if it's what you're saying, then it's what you're saying.
This is hardcore, the real deal. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. So we have a match. Fantastic. I'll connect you after the event. All right, Saj, again, do you guys have any questions?
I think I've spoken with him before. He can essentially speed up the time of, mass producing drugs.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, David. And let's move on. And the next person is Tina Go. Tina, are you here?
I am.
All right. You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
All right. Yeah. So My name's Tino Gois. I'm the founder of the company called Baru. So what we've done is we've created a new supply chain that cuts costs by 40% by eliminating freight and warehousing costs. We do this by tapping into about 500 million of installed but underused manufacturing equipment nationwide. So what we've done is we've built software that links between what a customer desires and the code that drives manufacturing robotics for on-demand manufacturing. So we've earned our first patent around the use of augmented reality to control those manufacturing instructions. And we're starting our marketplace sales and production with cabinetry, principally B2B. We have a $425,000 project that's pending. We should be executing on that in May, and we'll leverage the remaining tranche of our seed raise to get to a multi-million-dollar run rate. And so what we have remaining in the current tranche of the seed is a $225,000 and a $5 million pre-money, 20% discount. And we also have the first 2 subscribers to our SaaS program that will be worth about a $40,000 per year subscription. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
I've got a great team, by the way.
That's awesome. Yeah, it feels like to me that you pitched before, if I'm not mistaken. If you did, please explain what has changed since your pitch.
Yeah, so we're a month away from releasing version 1 of our SaaS tool. It's an internal productivity tool, but it solves a problem that's commonplace in the industry, so we can deploy it as a SaaS. There's about a $200 million TAM on that, but the fact that we beat IKEA and another low-end supplier with high-quality custom-made cabinetry, we'll be able to leverage that reputation and that project to get into another 200-room apartments per month. That takes us to a $5 million run rate, and we'll go beyond that. A new event is the former owner and CEO of Bojangles Restaurants in the southeast of the US. He joined our advisory group because he sees how our technology really streamlines restaurant build-outs.
Got it. Any questions from the investors? Thank you.
Can you explain the business model a little more? Because it sounds like you have the software part, and then you also, do some manufacturing yourself.
No, we don't do any manufacturing ourselves. We are a marketplace for underused. We're market makers for underused machine time, CNC machine time. We sell products to create machine time demand, and as that machine time increases, our margin goes up because we get economies of scale on these underused assets. So that's the marketplace, and we sell the products in the marketplace, and we take the gross merchandise value as our revenues, and our margins range from 25 to 40%. That is the cash generation piece initially. That cash generation, since we have no working capital needs or CapEx needs or inventory needs, we can redeploy that into growth and also into the 2 software platforms that we're building.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah, cool question. So I'm looking at the site here. So you're essentially sourcing this marketplace for locally made custom furniture, and that's where you're using these CNC machines to make these custom furniture.
No, it's machines. Well, furniture was the beta product with when Google. Google was our first customer, and so that was the beta product. But we're really focused on multifamily and commercial sales of case goods. So we're streamlining that Revit to manufacturing automation process for commercials.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know someone who's trying to manufacture like housing pods for co-living spaces. They may actually be interested in this.
All right, then I'll connect you guys. Any more questions? Okay, so seems like all set. Thank you so much for the presentation. And the next person would be Gideon Fakulat. Gideon, are you here?
Gideon? Yes, I'm here. Good
you got 2 minutes. Go for it.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Gideon Fakolade. I'm from Retreasure. We're a recycling enablement company. We're using proprietary technology to accelerate recycling rates. And the problem is that millions and millions of packaging containers, including plastic bottles, aluminum cans, pure water sachets, styrofoam, Tetra Pak, are used across our communities. But out of every 1 million units used, only 100 get recycled. And that's according to data available from the United Nations Environment Program on plastic waste management in Nigeria. And we are solving this problem. First, this problem implies that 90% of all recyclable waste usually leak into the environment. They find their way into the oceans where they endanger aquatic lives. They also get incinerated and cause a lot of problems. And they are contributing to the climate crisis that we all are facing around the world today. And that's why we found Retreasure. Okay, and how are we solving the problem? We are providing a smart aggregation platform for recyclable waste recovery through a unique combination of proprietary software and also a patented hardware technology that solves the issue of convenience and also dignity for community recycling. Our patented recycling kits collect recyclable waste from users in our communities, and it weighs it. In turn, as a reward for their effort, it credits users with cash, with airtime, and also with options of vouchers for utility bills and transportation payments. Unlike in developed clients, there are reverse vending machines and so on in the US, in Europe, but that cannot work here for so many factors, including power supply and also security. But this is tailored for our society, and it is being proven to be able to solve the problem in our little way, and we are looking to scale. Our target market includes recycling aggregators and users from restaurants, hotels, homes, event centers, and other places like that. Serviceable obtainable market in Lagos, Nigeria represents over $72 million annual income and is a small portion of our total addressable market across Africa that is worth $3 billion plus income. We have already passed the stages, critical milestones of market testing, patents, pilot and MVP deployment, and we are looking to achieve commercial deployment in Nigeria, the most populous Black nation, and we also have the plans of reaching neighboring countries in the near future. Our startup needs the investment to be able to commercialize our recycling acceleration platform as a Pan-African platform. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, please your questions if you have any.
Yes. Okay, so you've been in the business about what, 7 years? I can see that on your LinkedIn. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you have a US division, or are you just solely in Nigeria?
We're only in Nigeria. And like I mentioned, this is an African problem in the sense that US, for example, already have a working alternative. They have reverse vending machine. I don't know if you're familiar with reverse vending machine. So reverse vending machine are solving the problems in developed clients. But this is an African problem because here in Africa, most community members think that recycling is government problem. So they leave the problem to the government. Unfortunately, based on the data available, only 10% rate of recycling, that's too poor. And whereas those items are
Please
material.
shorten your answer so others can pitch as well. Sorry for interrupting.
So the good news for you, my wife and I, my wife is from Sudan. She's from East Africa. So we have a lot of investments over in Sudan. So we definitely want to make more investments across the continent. I want to learn more about how the actual process, the funnel of the business. So definitely let's connect offline. I've already messaged my wife who said yes to you. She likes you. She wants to talk to you. So Danil will get us connected.
I will.
Thank you.
Definitely. Congrats. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions from the Sharks? Okay. So go for it.
Quick question. So can you walk me through how this this service works? I'm assuming it's kind of like a vending machine thing where you throw in these bottles and then it packages it, or am I looking at this correctly? Looking at the site.
Yeah, thank you very much. So simple process. We are middlemen between aggregators and community service users. So aggregators are like our agents in the communities. So aggregators are manages our wagon. So 3 major components. We have what we call this crates. So just add N to crates. After crates, there is smart wagon. So this crate is a unique collection bag that allows users to be able to sell their recyclable waste. It comes with a unique identifier tag and also a near-field communication card. The smart wagon has a card reader, a weight sensor, and a communication system on board. So the aggregator is the one managing it gets real-time data of the weight of the user's identity of what's going on with the wagon at specific locations within the communities, right? And is able to, and the paying customer is the aggregators anyways, because they are the ones who need the raw materials that people remit or deposit to the smart wagon. So simple circle process, the user remits using the crate, takes to the nearest smart wagon, deposits to the nearest smart wagon, the card reader on the smart wagon captures the data, the time, the content, the weight, and then credits the user in escrow, right? Upon validation of the aggregator, the cash or the credits drops from escrow to spendable wallets, and user is able to spend. Thank you.
Please raise, please be short so others can teach. We try to respect everyone's willingness to speak, but remember there are other people also willing to talk. Thank you so much for your presentation. I guess no more questions and we're moving on. Before we take the next person, those who want to pitch, please raise your hand to pitch. This is a reactions button. Don't put your hands in the chat. This is not I'm looking at. I'm looking at the reactions button right here in your bottom bar. Okay, so the next person is Jeffrey Cohen. Jeffrey, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. All right, go for it.
Great.
2 minutes.
Great. So thank you for this meeting. So as we mark the 3rd anniversary of COVID, we find that the world is returning to pre-COVID conditions. The problem with this is that it is also returning to pre-COVID health conditions, meaning that we're about to go right back to the same scenario that allowed a super spread of COVID throughout the globe. Public policies, government policies, travel company policies have not actually emerged or changed at all. So we are returning to a high-risk situation. In the last 23 years, we've had Zika, SARS, MERS, HIV, avian flu, 2 different versions, typhoid, measles, chickenpox, monkeypox, and there are already 3 new ones that potentially are on the horizon. Because of this and the fact that the travel industry is basically a start and stop, because every time there's a health event, nobody wants to travel, people are getting frustrated. And so now 70% of people who travel now lie about their health status to make sure that they can go on their trip. That means that the self-attestation of health is no longer reliable. And in fact, we need a new way to guarantee public health, to guarantee the safety of the traveler, the people who service the traveler, and the destinations that travelers go to. Right? Given that travel is the largest employer in the world and the 5th largest economic industry, it is benefit to everybody that we make a move. And what My Life ID is doing is we're leveraging our Super EMR award-winning platform and launching a digital health passport in April. This digital health passport will allow us to authenticate the requirements of destinations and travel providers against a person's health without having to release the actual health details of a passenger. So that you'll get a yes, you're healthy, you can travel, or no, these are the things you need to meet in order to be safe to travel. But this way, we're stopping people from traveling before they contaminate thousands of people in an airport or a bus terminal, things like that. We already have 26 countries that are interested in our product. We are generating revenue from our EMR platform with our other products as well. And we are looking to raise $2 million, of which we've already have some commitment for about 100,000 in order to accelerate the launch and the adoption of our digital health passport on a global basis. We already support almost—
Jeffrey, you passed time, please wrap it up.
Sure, sorry. Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right. Any questions from the Sharks?
Not
Yeah,
so for me.
Yeah, quick question. He said he's generating revenue. How much revenue?
I'm right now only generating about 6,000 a month. We've launched 3 products in the last 90 days, and we expect that number to climb very fast.
Yeah, so for me, Jeffrey, I have just a bit of a suggestion. Sure. I don't know how much my advice is worth without me writing you a check. So I'll say suggestion. Yeah. You spent a lot of time on what I would classify, I don't know if other people would agree with this classification, fear mongering. instead of just getting directly to it. Like you could have spent very short time in a pitch, like, hey, there are some things that happened during COVID that weren't ideal that you guys probably didn't notice, which was because people wanted to get outside so much. When certain strands of COVID started to return, people started to lie about their health condition. We don't want this to happen. We're sure that you guys don't want this to happen. This is why we built X. It could have got directly there. But like you named so many different things that's going wrong. And it's like, wow, should I even be vegan anymore? It got me away from really understanding the value proposition you have with your business. I think you said something like a health passport, if you will. Is it an actual passport, or is that a marketing reference for a particular card that you have? Is it connected to the FDA, whereby the FDA is going to approve this particular passport, whatever you're calling it? I really couldn't get there because you spent so much time on listing every disease known to man and woman.
Okay, so yes, I appreciate the feedback. That's good feedback. It's a digital health passport. We have it in a variety of forms, including a digital proprietary USB card or a mobile app. And we have APIs so we can adapt to whatever the government or travel provider wants in order to make it easy for them to adopt the technology.
Yeah, so Jeffrey, really quick. Let me give you an example. We have a process that we connected with hospitals. You go there after this X checkup, they also give you this card that we have. And because you went through the hospital and the hospital granted you the card that we have, we know that you're verified by X checkup. So the governments want to connect. I don't understand what the product is. I don't understand the use case inside of the real world.
Along those lines, also, who's the buyer on this? Is it the hospital? Is it the government? Is it the airline? Is it the travel agencies, other countries?
Okay,
you
so
have
the answer
revenue,
is,
so yeah.
The answer is yes. First of all, it's not going to be a hospital, okay? And second, it's not and this is probably one of the farces that we have. It's not a real-time check it today and you're good to go, because you have to check against so many different variables. We validate your health history against the requirements of the government or the travel provider. Right? We integrate with enough health systems around the globe that we can validate over 1 billion people's health against these requirements.
Okay, but I guess this is going to sound terrible, but my question is, like, who cares? Right? Like, obviously we all care. We don't want to get sick, right? But like, who's the person that's going to buy this and say, now everyone use it,
Yeah. So right now we have employee benefit programs that are buying it. We have individuals buying it. We have certain travel providers. Like last week, there was an outbreak on a Princess Cruise Line. 300 people got sick. The whole cruise line stopped. Everybody got their trip interrupted. That couldn't have been prevented with our product.
Okay, so that's I guess you're going to have limited resources, and I'd love to understand what market you're going to target first. You've named end users, you've named cruise lines, you've named and employee health benefits, all could be potential markets, and maybe you tell me, like, the end user is the easiest one to get into, or the employee, like, what are you going to target first and why?
Global Business Travel Association. We're already a partner, and they represent 80 million passengers per year.
Okay. And are they forcing all of their passengers to use it?
We're going through the process. They are a lobbying organization that lobbies governments and travel companies in order to adopt things that make it easier for business travelers to travel. So they're not a buyer. They are a distribution hub to get our product out to the globe fast.
Okay. And
I'd love to continue these conversations because you guys bring up great points. I actually have answers for everything, but we can't cover it right here.
So really quick. So I got a message from my wife. She has concerns that, and by the way, I keep saying my wife, ladies and gentlemen, because M&D Ventures is my and Duránd. So she's a 50% partner. So she has concerns that this is very intrusive as far as her health being tracked.
No one ever sees your records. They only see a yes or no that you're compliant with the requirements.
Got it. All right, I'm done.
All right. Okay.
I have a quick question. What is your background, Jeffrey? I work with about 6 startups doing this space. So
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
I said I work with about 6 startups doing something very similar. So I just want to know what your background is.
I have 22 years in travel. I ran international travel companies for Carl Icahn. I am a data geek. I've been doing data management and manipulation for 40 years in about 9 different industries. I am a programmer, and this is probably my 9th startup.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'd be interested in connecting, just because I work with a startup that's doing this not necessarily for travel, but for HIPAA verifications within working with primary care physicians. So this is definitely something they're working on, and they'd be interested in connecting.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great. Love to follow up with all of you, actually. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Let's talk as well. Let's talk as well.
All right, so we've got the 4th and the 5th connections already so far on this event. All right, we'll do this. Congrats. Thank you, Jeffrey, for your presentation. And we're moving on to the next person. Those who want to pitch, please raise your hands right here in the reactions button near bottom bar. And the next person would be Ida Brink-Lund. Ida, are you there?
I am indeed. Can you see me?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Right. So I wasn't going to pitch because it seemed to me that everyone on the board was B2B. But Duránd, you said something about a micro VC round, and are you into B2C?
Yes, I am.
You are.
If you pitch,
Yes.
please pitch. You have 2 minutes. Don't spend it.
Yeah. But so what we do is hello, my name is Ida. I'm the CEO and founder of Adiso. Adiso is combining the power of plants, technology, and design to help people, empower them to create thriving green spaces. In reality, you can compare it to Lego, who's great at inspiring kids to play, but they actually just sell blocks, Lego blocks. We're going to be the world's best at inspiring people how to create green spaces. In reality, we sell plants online. So the idea is that we've created an app. You could call it Tinder for plants. It's called the Habitat Creator. And it's great at matching people up with plants, but also connected to a mental health aspect, so that what we can do really well is we've created a health design method so that people can actually get the kind of plants that would match their mental well-being. And we've made about 130K last year. We've just changed our setup to a European setup, done a soft launch, and we're ready to roll out in the European Union. And we have metric breakdown, and we've changed our gross profit from 43% to 76%. And so what we're looking for is a 2 million VC investment. But what we could be interested in is a micro VC opportunity, because we've got a growth that is so interesting, and we can turn a bootstrap profit that we might be able to make a better deal if we wait. That's pretty much it.
Thank you so much. Right on time.
Yeah.
All right.
You weren't going to pitch, but you turned from the plant lady to the business lady. You started talking about your margins.
Yeah.
I love nuts. You're not just in the garden, I see. Yeah.
No, you love plants. I don't know.
So what are you going to do with the $2 million? How do you plan to deploy the capital? If you can talk a little bit about that.
Yes, well, we're going to need about 60% for the tech, because what we're seeing is that, my last company, I developed an MMO and 6 different platforms of interactive content for kids. And I've been doing consulting for Lego, where we've been working on the big brands. And what we know is that it's constantly changing. So even though we're doing a recommendation experience now, we know that we're going to be constantly thinking of, wait a minute, what if we send a message about watering plants? And what if we did this? And so it's going to be a constant experience help. And that's a major thing. And then marketing. Right now we're doing $1, getting 3 back. And that has to go up from $1 up to 8. And the way we're going to solve that is we're going to be combining it with content. So video, our go-to-market strategy is pretty complex, because I've worked with Disney and Lego and everyone knowing about this, how we call it the flywheel model from HubSpot, but actually before we call it the 360 model. I'm going to try and make it short so I don't get told off. It wasn't a good enough answer shortly, but.
Can I ask you a quick question? So
yes, of course.
You have an app. Now, who provides the plants?
Well, I have a deal with, or Adiso has a deal with over 100 growers, and we're constantly onboarding new. And the idea, what we've done, which is very different, is that we've got a direct local to global thing going on in Europe. So we're ready for the whole of Europe. So it means basically I buy the plants directly from a grower, and then I have a big partnership with Europe's biggest cross-border company called PostNL. And the plant goes to PostNL first, then they get redistributed to every order, and then they get shipped out. And the good thing is I don't have to buy the plant until after I've sold the order.
Is your company located in Germany?
No, it's located in Denmark. Is that good enough?
Got it.
But
Yeah, so
my European setup is located in Holland. My shipping.
I don't know where I stand as far as investing, but I'm definitely interested in talking to you, my wife and I, just to learn a bit more about the logistics, because this is not the typical wheelhouse for us. But hey, I like to invest in everything. So I would like to talk to you, at least have that conversation to understand a bit more. I mean, pretty impressive. You understand your numbers. You understand your go to market. I just want to know more about like what the actual product is, and is there. I will just borrow Sage's language. Do people really care? I know people love their flowers, but from a business perspective, do they care? So I'd love to at least talk to you and learn more about it.
I'd love to speak to you too. The market is $200 billion big, and our TAM is about 20 billion. So yeah, they do really care.
She's not just the plant lady, Danil.
No,
I gotta tell you. So yeah, we'll get connected. Danil will connect us.
I will.
I think along those lines, there's interesting dynamics about creating demand, when you create sort of the network effect and
exactly
what you're trying to build right now. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting idea. We do software, not really plants.
I know, that's
why try this network idea that you do.
But I love network effects. I think it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate investors are giving so much feedback to startups and willingness to connect.
So cool.
That's actually what makes our investors so unique here and so amazing to helping our entrepreneurs. Thank you for your pitch. And let's move on to the other founders. And the next would be Philip Pitts. Philip, are you here? Hello, Philip.
See you guys.
Thank you so much.
I'm here.
Please
I'm here.
All right, you got
to
go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
On your video.
See if we can get that going.
It should be adjacent to the audio button.
It is, I know, but it seems like it's not picking me up.
You may have to grant permission.
Yeah.
All permission. Okay. We have not enough time. You can pitch.
All right. I've been inventing medical devices for about 35 years now. I've created a lot of different products for different industries. Most of these products have been safety products. My latest product is called Cooler Kids. The problem in the world is there were over 750,000 children died of complications from dehydration last year. In the news, we see only the kids who die in cars, but you don't see the kids that are sent to hospitals or the kids that wind up with mental issues and organ damage that do survive a heat stroke. I created a product that is made with FDA-approved food-grade plant oils for additional safety, because this product is to be used in a car seat, can be transferred then to a stroller, can be used in an adult baby carrier. It gets firm at 60 degrees and stays at temp for up to 2 hours at 100. Can be recharged on the central vent on your air conditioner on your car, or dropped in a cooler of ice water. You store it in the refrigerator. The cost of goods is about $31.43. Retails for $129.95. I'm looking for $250,000. I'll give 20% equity in my company. And Hula Kids is just the tip of the iceberg because there's a lot of other markets that haven't been touched by this type product yet. I've spent many years in research, prototypes. A similar product is used in hospitals to help reduce the body temperature of multiple sclerosis patients. And what this is actually a heat exchanger. It pulls heat out of the body, so the child does not overheat. And you've probably seen some of my videos on LinkedIn, testimonial videos from mother who's used the product. That video of the mother I had.
Philip, your past time, please wrap it up.
So I'm looking for an ROI you'll get in 12 months and retain 20% company.
All right.
I've got manufacturing all in place, ready to go. Money will be spent on raw materials, manufacturing, and marketing, and it'll go on e-commerce and Spotify, Shopify to start with, and to spread it out through the.
Thank you so much, Philip. Appreciate that. And we're moving to questions to let everyone be able to pitch. Thank you. And dear investors, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so just trying to understand this. You said it's for heat exchange. This is kind of like a reusable ice pack.
It's not an ice pack. It is reusable. It's made with plant oils. It gets firm at 60 degrees and stays at temp for 2 hours at 100. It can be used up to 35,000 times. Comes with full 2-year, 100% warranty. I will replace it absolutely free if anything happens to 2 years. I don't care if they run over it with a car or a dog bites it. But I've wanted the product safe, so that's the reason it's made with the oils. Because babies and pets tend to chew on things. You want to make sure you covered all your bases, and that's what I do. I try to make sure I've covered everything. Everything's in place to start manufacturing today.
Okay. What is the size of this unit?
It's about 7 inches wide. It's designed to fit in contour to the body. It can be put around the arm or shoulder. It has uses other than in the outdoors for picnics or whatever. You can use it in the home also to reduce a baby's fever. I know December we were all seeing news about people needing to get product to bring a child's fever down. They can lay them on this product and it'll bring the fever out of them without using pharmaceuticals. You can use it also if you have headaches, backaches. This product is actually running a little late. In November of 19, I had back surgery, was in discussions with Home Shopping Network. They wanted to sell the product. I was sent to rehab complications. I wound up having 16 surgeries in 30 months, which put everything on the back burner. So that's the reason I'm here now, to get this thing out there, because there's too many children that wind up overheated. And if you've ever picked up a child out of a car seat and they're wet, they are not sweaty.
Philip, please shorten your answers so we can ask more questions and move to other people as well, so we can let other investors to ask you questions as well. Sorry for interrupting. I know you're trying to present the best way.
Yeah.
So
I have one more question. What is the cost for manufacturing?
Cost to manufacture is about $17 a piece.
Okay. Any more questions? All right. Thank you so much.
What is the weight of this unit?
It weighs 1/2 pound.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
8 ounces.
Okay. If any of the investors would like to connect, they will let me know. Thank you so much, Philip. We appreciate your presentation, and we're moving on to the next person, who is.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A favor to everyone, please, I'm asking everyone who's pitching, please put your real names. It's very hard to identify you afterwards. If you want to be ever connected with investors and not see your name, you're unlikely to be connected. So please rename when you can. And the next person is the amadei.com.
Hi guys.
What's your real name? Please tell us.
My name is Bronislav. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you have 2 minutes. Go for it.
Okay, good. So I'm Bronislav, and I'm a founder and CEO of Amadei, which is a music talent incubator. Basically, we grow, distribute, and promote musicians The problem of the dozens of millions of musicians, they want to be popular and earn money with their music, but they cannot do this because of very tough competition in this market, because almost 128,000 new tracks uploading to all streaming platforms per 1 day, per 24 hours. The market is very huge. The revenue of this market was $128 billion last year, and it's growing for 25% year over year. How we solve the problem? Basically, we are all in one place platform for musicians where they can collaborate, fix their rights, distribute and promote their tracks, and basically receive royalties with the help of our platform. Business model is very simple. We are receiving money from musicians and music labels. Musicians and music labels, they pay us for our services for distribution and music promotion. And we're also receiving money from all streaming platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, and lots of more. We are receiving royalty on monthly basis from all these streaming platforms. We started with $2,000 in revenue in the US market some 12 months ago. And currently we are selling for $60,000 per month currently, last month, sorry. So we're already serving for more than 70,000 clients with the help of our platform. And our team are real insiders in music industry. We have a team of Grammy Award winners. We have a team of label managers, music label managers, which have the experience for more than 20-25 years in music industry. Currently, we are raising a round of $1.5 million with a pre-money cap of $15 million. That's it.
Awesome, thank you. I guess you would have a lot of questions right now, hopefully.
So I'll kick things off. So this is my background specifically. You mind turning your video on so that we can see you? Oh, it's on. Oh, okay, you were no, you had it correctly. You were frozen in a really good position. That was really good. So, all right, can you explain to me about like the pipeline? Are you going to Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music Entertainment and working out deals with them whereby you're paying a license fee for content? How does it work as far as them paying you for the services that you're providing? In addition to that, I'm sure you can handle a lot of these questions because they're music industry-based questions. Are you acting as a manager with your 360 platform whereby you're being a funnel to the record labels as well? So you're building talent and connecting them to the record labels. Then I have a few more questions. You can start with those two.
Everything is much more easier than you just told. People just arrive into our platform. They are signing up with our platform, and if they have a ready-made track, they just press the upload button and they upload the track with our distribution, and this track goes to all streaming platforms. And they pay for this service. They pay $10 per each track. When
so you guys are like a CD Baby, a TuneCore?
Right. We are guys like CD Baby, TuneCore, and DistroKid in terms of distribution, but they solve only distribution problem. They don't solve the problem of collaboration. They don't solve the problem on sound design, and they don't solve the problem of promotion the track. The more vital thing for the musicians is to be heard. They are fighting for the ears of the ordinary listeners like you and me. So the promotion services is very important, and we promote this our artists together with the distribution, and the labels like Universal, like Sony, which you mentioned, they are paying us for our services to promote their clients, to promote their musicians. They don't use our distribution channels because they have their own, but they pay us for the promotion. While the independent artists and the other middle class music labels, they are using our service for distribution as well.
Got it. So really quick, and perhaps you can just do like really quick answers so we can allot some time for the other investors. So I'm attempting to understand this because this seems to me what I classify as recreational revenue. That's revenue that's not fixed, it's variable. So you don't know when it's coming, you don't know how much it is. And what's your actual model where, because you can only have so many subscribers. There are only so many artists in the world. There's about 6,000 artists that the big labels sign. Only about 10% of them represents 80% of the music that's streamed on the streaming services. So even if you get a client in Sony Music Entertainment, what's the actual business that you have where I can look at a trajectory of growth? Because it's not going to be the subscription side of things.
Mm-hmm. It can be a subscription, but we intentionally refused from a subscription base because, for example, DistroKid, CD Baby, they have a subscription point. We are not using subscription. They are paying us for per each deal. They are paying us for distribution promotion services. The market of independent artists, the artists who is not signing for example, Universal Group, these are independent artists. The market is growing enormously because all the labels, they are going to the past. Currently, the industry is moving to the independence market. Independent.
So have the record labels, the publishing companies, and the performance rights organizations made an investment in your company?
No. Because we are running the we are collecting money from digital streaming and downloads. We are not collecting money from the concert activity, from performance rights.
Yeah, but I hear that. But as I said before, this is my background. I came from the record industry. My cousin is a super famous historic hip hop artist, Scarface. You probably heard him from the Ghetto Boys. This is like my wheelhouse. If they like your idea and they see there's merit there, they're going to write you a check. They all have venture firms now. Daniel Ek made that possible for all of the music entrepreneurs. Maybe they try to fight you on an extra point or so because you're working with them. But I'm just curious why, if you haven't come to Los Angeles and connect with the labels or the publishing house, which are next door, the performance rights organization, say, hey guys, we have something great. This can be a funnel for you guys in so many ways. Why haven't they written you a check? I don't understand that part.
They are written us a check, not like an investor, but they are written us a check like a client. They are paying us for our promotion services. That's it. And about our future exit, we are already negotiating with the Believe Music. I know that you know Believe Music. That's the huge distributor in the world. That's a leader. And we are in the radar of the Believe Music in terms of the future exit. So our strategic partner will be either the Believe Music or Universal Group or some other financial institution.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my friends at Universal, Sony, and Warner, and see exactly what's going on with this. It takes a few seconds for me to put it inside of the group chat. These are the people that run the record labels, I know. And if it pans out for what you said that it is, then we can have a conversation for sure.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
All right, the Edge connections got, so we will connect you with Duránd for sure. Any other questions before we let you?
Just a short comment where, Branislav is in our soft lending program. So we had some conversations prior to that. And good to see the progress.
All right, so you came. Okay, great. So fantastic. So
Zamir just came to save the day. He's vouching for you. I didn't know that. You could have saved him all this time and just set it up front. Okay, now I'm really interested.
I want you with them. Look, I want the founders to be able to answer all the tough questions that you ask. So,
No. My questions are going to get tougher when you connect us too, because this is my wheelhouse. So I definitely want to talk to him though.
Okay.
That's very interesting business, guys, because the more tracks we are uploading with our distribution, the more money we get with the time, with the help of royalties. And I will tell you that we will receive royalties even 75 years after the death of the artist.
Oh, okay, so long-term business. Thank you so much. Any more questions from Sash or Ken? Do you guys have any? All right.
I'm just admiring the expertise we have on this call in the music industry. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you're not alone.
You should be focused on the metrics, maybe on the business, because it's a very profitable business, and the LTV, the community of musicians is very loyal, because they are trusting us to manage their rights, And in terms of you, the song is just some mythical thing, but the song is the asset for them.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I think Duránd has got this in the box. I can't wait to see what you two do together.
Yeah, and good luck with that. We'll definitely connect you. So it's already 8th match for today, and we're moving on. And the next person is, and please stay to that. Everyone who is pitching, please stay to that. It's very sad to me that founders jump here, pitch, and go. Stay, support each other, because it's so much effort for everyone to pitch and convince these sharks. They're not easy on you, but everyone is getting a chance to pitch and maybe get funded in the future. The next person is Joel Adams. Joel, are you here?
I am here.
Minutes.
Thank you. My name is Joel Adams. The company is called First Person Solutions. We took a 90-year-old generic compound originally discovered by Eli Lilly. We combined it with an Indian herb, and we came up with a better anti-inflammatory for treating COVID and long COVID than any anti-inflammatory that is currently available, prescription or non-prescription. One of the sharks asked for stories, personal stories, gave this product to a high school classmate of mine. She had been suffering from long COVID for 6 months. She took the product for 2 weeks. In her letter back to me, thanking me for it, she said not only did it clear up all of her major symptoms of long COVID, but she said, I want to thank you for making me feel like me again. What we found was when we gave anecdotal stories like that to investors, they were totally skeptical and thought all we had was a placebo effect, et cetera. So we did a major research study at a major hospital in Bangalore. And that research study went into preprint this past week within the last 72 hours. And I'm going to put a link to that in the chat right now. That proved 3 things. After 14 days of supplementation with Cellwell, we reduced everyone's FSSQ scores. FSSQ is a standardized test to measure fatigue. After 14 days, we lowered their C19YRS scores. C19YRS is a standard test for COVID symptoms. And the third and most important thing, we reduced their PASC scores. PASC is a measure of long COVID. It is a combination of 3 or 4 different molecules in your blood. So this cannot be faked. This cannot be a placebo effect. We actually changed the molecular counts in the blood of these people to the positive on the scale that measures how much long COVID they have.
Joe,
that is what
it up.
is in that preprint article.
Sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
That's it. I have the product is available for sale. It is already manufactured. It is for sale in India. We intend to roll out marketing distribution in India and the United States. I'm looking for $1 million of revenue on a $6 million pre-money for the U.S. corporate parent.
Thank you.
Sorry, I might have missed it. Is this FDA? Are you going through the approval process? What's the thinking there?
No, this is a supplement. So in the United States, we may not make any claims for it. In India, we are about to be issued. We've already been reviewed by the Ministry of Ayush. In India, it will be an Ayush medicine. Ayush medicines in India are a natural medicine. It's a big deal in India. They have a Ministry of Ayush. You have to get approved of that. And so in India, we will be able to make all the claims that I just said. We'll be able to tell people that it treats COVID and long COVID.
Questions?
It would be eligible to get FDA approval as a prescription drug or an over-the-counter drug if somebody's willing to pay $10 million or so to run it through an FDA-approved trial.
Yeah, so I have a quick question. The FDA approval process, if you get it started, does take a while before being able to leverage it. So what is your current go-to-market strategy on how you can sell it in the United States?
We're going to sell it. We intend to sell it through General Nutrition Center and Vitamin Shop, and of course, direct to consumer over our website. We just cannot make any claims ourselves for it as a treatment to COVID. I believe that we can publish things like the research study, which is published, and we can make that available to people, but we cannot make any specific claims, on our website as this is a treatment for COVID. You look at, say, how other natural products are marketed, all of those avenues are available to us. Actually, the low-hanging fruit is actually India. So this is a very low-cost product. India has 3 times as many consumers as the US, and they are strong believers in their Ayurvedic medicines. And so the low-hanging fruit is actually, we intend to start our major marketing and distribution push is going to start first in India.
Okay, seems like no more questions. Good. Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. We're moving on to the next person. Please stay to the end, support others, exchange contacts. We have investors also in the chat and other experts, so they are here to support you as well. And the next person would be John Ciari. Sorry for this wrong pronunciation.
Come on, give it some chance.
Yeah, sir. Please pronounce your last name. You could do it better, I'm sure.
Squicciarini.
All right, got it. So please turn on your camera if you can, and you got 2 minutes.
Okay, this is for the women in the group here. I am the president of iMedar, which used to be Gentech Medical, and what we've developed is technology for OBGYN. When a woman goes in for an examination, there's no more stirrups, no more speculum, no more pap samples. Everything can be done pretty much in the same examination, no more colposcopy. Rather than taking a pap sample, sending off to the lab, we have a very small scope, about the size of a small tampon. It goes through the vagina, gets up to the cervix, a balloon dilator opens up, we can see the whole cervix, and we can identify, due to the microscopic capabilities of it, we can see the lesions right there. So we don't have to send the information to the lab. We can do a biopsy and go. We're in the process right now of taking that technology and moving it over to cobots, where ultimately with AR and machine language, we've already had prototypes, where a robot will be able to do the examination. And through the artificial intelligence, it would make a specific area of the cervix that needs further assistance. And then if it's identified that there's more problem in the uterus, we'll actually be able to go with a hysteroscope into the uterus and look around. The theme of this project here, there's so many areas that don't have availability of GYNs. The political conflict right now in the United States about abortion is really pushing the robotic technology a lot further. This project has been underway. My family's put in about $4 million, where the integration into the robot is where we're going right now. And we're looking for about another $3.8 million. Where through the market, we have a market cap of about $44 million.
Right, thank you.
So there you are, ladies.
Okay, any questions to this founder?
Okay.
Is this specifically for gynecology, or can it be used for colonoscopies as well?
Same thing, yeah. Ultimately, with the new technologies, it'll actually be able to be a procedure for a non-invasive procedure for prostate. But all of these things are growing. The FDA wants us to do a demonstration of just the scope going inside the vagina, taking pictures, then bringing it out. Then what happens is you start adding more and more of the capabilities to it that would be easier to get approval.
Okay.
So Danil, it's hard to connect with the entrepreneurs when you can't see them. But fortunately for his pitch, my wife messaged me and said she's interested in learning more about this. She invests in femtech, so she's interested in having a conversation. But when we talk, we need to see you.
I am. I'm on. Why aren't I?
No, you're not on video at the moment.
Yeah, your video.
Well, somehow when I change the mute, I also turn off my video.
Oh, we can see you finally.
There's been we've been doing the studies all over, from Africa, Kenya to Thailand to England.
We thought you were Chat GPT for a minute.
Hey, well, there you go. There you go. And out of 1,800 women, and the women in the group will probably identify it with, was 100% of the women advised they would never go back to the old way of GYN examinations. They would feel a lot more comfortable with an examination being done quickly, and she doesn't have the feel of it. So the acceptance of the project through the GYNs, and especially the women worldwide, is very attractive.
Great. We're interested
Do you
in
have
talking.
a pipeline of doctors' offices that are going to sign up to start using this as soon as it's certified?
Oh, yeah, everywhere, yes. The doctors, though, were worried about how much money are they going to lose because of the new automation? And what's being developed now on the business side is a different business model of how a doctor with the advance of technologies, with how they get paid, they're actually going to make more money using the device because they could do multiple examinations first time rather than do a GYN and come back for a colposcopy, coming back for your treatment. So the NIH and FDA are looking at for reimbursement. They're going to bring a lot of the codes together.
Pretty cool.
Yep, pretty cool. Sorry you didn't see me. Here I am.
Before let's go for it.
No.
Other question?
Anyway, my email address is there. You can email me and I'll send you additional information.
Of course. And we will connect you with the Sharks if any of them would express their interest to connect. If no more questions, I'm moving to the next person. Thank you so much, John. Sorry for that I screwed up your last name. You have a very nice last name. And hope to see you next time. And we're moving to the next person, Andrew Kislov. Andrew, are you here? Ready?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew. Excited to be here. It's my first time, and looks like it's my fault that it was my first time. I should be there before. I am a neuroscientist by my education, entrepreneur by spirit. For the last 8 years, I've been doing different projects. I've been in field of advertising and marketing. In advertising, there is one huge problem called brand marketing. So whole marketing spends divided into brand marketing and performance marketing. In brand marketing, there is a really big lack of data. And large advertisers spend their media budgets just take into account their internal thoughts and ideas. So like guys like Unilever, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, whoever, they have $100 million budget and put it to television, to TikTok, to Instagram, and so on. Somehow it works, but no one knows how exactly it works and what is working and what is not working. Around 80% of all media budgets are wasted because people do not see these ads. It's just great informational noise, which is irrelevant for people. Largest advertisers trying to solve this issue because it's super big, like $200 billion annually are wasted for noise. No one even close to the solution. Looks like we found a solution for this problem. We analyze consumer attention and emotions toward ads in different media channels and deliver this data to advertisers. We're currently at the step when we're running paid pilots with a number of big guys like Unilever, Nestle, Disney, and other giants primarily in States and Mexico, but also a little bit in Indonesia, Malaysia, and China. We're raising small funding, $300,000 to end our development, 150 already in bank account. So another 150 remains. This is it. Thank you for your attention and emotions.
Right on time. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a quick question, Andrew. Thanks for the pitch. Where do you get the data, considering all these changes in the cookie blocking and all the situation with the third-party data? How are you going to work around this?
Yeah, so basically, this is a great question because of cookies, there is an even low number of data available in the market. We analyze consumer emotion attention using web cameras of specific people who willing to share their data with us. So this is what we call browse to earn. People browse in our specific browser with the web camera turning on, and based on number of neural networks, we analyze their behavior and make conclusions about general behavior.
Got it. So I've seen several things like that where other startups collect data not from the camera but from the browsing part, and the issue is, how do you reward people for sharing that data with you? What is your mechanism on inspiring them to turn the camera on and keep it on while they're using the browser?
Yeah, it's quite simple. So we have partnership with the three major panels. So panels are the specific businesses who provide people to participate in marketing research, like surveys, focus groups, and so on. And we have around 5 million people across the globe who are willing to share the data with us if we have a demand for them from 50 countries. Usual task for these people is like, you watching boring video and then you ask a boring questionnaire for 20 minutes. So no one likes it, of course. And we have another task, like, guys, you just spend your time in YouTube and Facebook, you do whatever you want. and you getting paid for like $10 for your data share. And
so when you mentioned, sorry, just for the sake of time. So when you mention you have 5 million people, that means you have a, subscribed 5 million users?
No, we have an access to them. We have the contracts with the panels who has these people. And if we have a demand for this number of people for analytics, we can do it like tomorrow. So right now we don't need so much people, but there is no question where to find them, how to deal with lifetime value of them, with churn and so on. So these questions are solved on our side.
So is it fair to say that you're not actually, I mean, selling the data is the actual way you're going through it, but what you really built is the ability to collect the data, like the software that's going to run the thing and the AI and all that stuff in the background. Like you're pitching yourself as like selling data to brands isn't actually helpful. What you're really doing is say, okay, like Estee Lauder or whatever it is, hire me and I will use my you're hiring my software to basically collect a bunch of data for you. Is that fair?
I'm not sure whether I got your question. So
I guess it's a distinction. There's companies that sell large data sets, and then there's companies that sell software to collect data. And you're going to be in the second one, not the first, correct?
I think somewhere in between. I'm not sure. So in a nutshell, yeah. So we're selling ability to collect the data. So this is in a nutshell. So the brand want to launch a media campaign, and they're asking us, like, guys, we have this target audience, we have these aims. What we're gonna do in terms of budget allocation for media channels and for video ads, and we delivered them data about what is the best way how to allocate the budget in order to increase brand metrics.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the presentation. Please join our app. And we'll see on our Slack, and we'll be moving for the next person. Maura Gentle. Maura, are you there? Maura, please turn on your mic, and you have 2 minutes. Okay, Maura, while you're preparing, we're moving to the next person. Suhil, are you here?
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Okay, Suhil, go for it. You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity. So, what we are building and the problem that exists are like very interesting. Like there are a lot of entrepreneurs like every day coming out, and they are doing different interesting stuff. Different domains is there, but like there is an intersection of like there is only limited industries that exist. So like we are building a product like where you can you can tap a new market very easily. If you are like going global, you can study the market and study the behaviors of users. And so like the product will be fully for entrepreneurs to help them go in market and build the products, what kind of products they can build. Either they are a late stage entrepreneur, they can see what kind of things happens in this market, what kind of things you need marketing, you need product, you need money, you can get to know about these. So in short, we are a digital publishing company. We are building a product very early stage that will help entrepreneurs to mass communicate to their user, at the same time get a better understanding of the market.
All right, that's it. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And questions. So we have 3 people with raised hands, including yourself. So let's make it quick. So trying to maybe let others to teach, but if it will happen. Anyway, any questions from the Sharks?
So I think you described your problem set and your customer base very well. What I'd love to understand is, as a digital publishing company, are you services oriented? Like, are you writing a lot of stuff for them, or is there some sort of platform you've created?
Yeah, your platform will be like self-served by the users. At the on top of it, we're gonna have all the IP of the content.
Okay, so the idea.
So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
right now, like we are not exploring the domain of like touching the distribution market and flowing data on our platform. So like we are like talking to people who want to have their mask, like they want their brand to have a voice and go out in a market with a voice that their brand can represent. They can explain to the customers easily like what they do in like more and a good way, instead of just like doing advertisement, running ads and all this stuff.
I guess no more questions from the Sharks. Thank you so much for the pitch. Appreciate that. Please join the app, and we're moving to the next person, who is Mora Gentle. Mora, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
2 minutes. Go for it.
All right. Welcome to all. My name is Omar Khalid. I'm from Egypt. Our company is established and headquarters in Istanbul, Turkey. Actually, our project is in the educational field. So this is what I'm gonna talk about it. You all know the importance of the education and how it's really, really important, which is before the COVID-19, it was a really different system. And after the COVID-19, it's a new system in the distance learning. So this is our project, depends on the distance learning, which is divided into two parts. The first part, the academic learning or academic teaching, which is in every single country. And our focusing is in the Arab countries in the MENA region. So we are focusing on two parts of the distance learning, which is number one, academic teaching, the material or the approaches of every single country in the Arab countries. And the other part, the second part, is the summer programs or the other courses like programming, like marketing, like graphic design and other courses for sure. So we are establishing our platform right now, but there is some roadblocks. So about the financial aid and something like this. But our platform is focusing on to be suitable for the new and modern techniques and technologies like AI and VR and these tools as well, to make the students able to be standard and can be the standard education system in the UK and in the Europe in general and in the US. Actually, I got many offers before. One of the offers was $3.5 million up to $5 million, but unfortunately they asked I think maybe from 30 to 40% of the company, but we just accept this. We didn't accept this because we have offered just to be from 10 to 15 or 20%. That's all.
Your past time, please wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're moving to questions.
Sorry for this, taking a long time. All right.
No problem.
Well, I'm sorry. I just couldn't understand what is it exactly that your platform does. I mean, I understood that this is about education, it's about new technologies being implemented there, you know, with AI and VR, but what is it that you do? Because there's so much ed tech out there, you know. Can you be more specific, please? And who is your core audience that you work with?
Simply, our platform is in the educational field for the students from the middle school and the high school.
Doing what?
But the other programs or the other.
Sorry, let me be clear. what is your platform doing with the students from middle school and high school? What are you teaching them?
Teach them the material or the approaches in the countries, in the Arab countries. You know, every single country in the MENA region has its material or its approaches, which is in the governmental schools or this international schools. And these schools, they have their own and their special material. So this is our distance learning or our sessions, depends on.
So you mean you take the school program, you take the school program from, let's say, Jordan, and then you digitalize it on the platform. That's your business model. Who pays you for that? Is that the school who pays you to digitalize it?
We get both of them. We can make a deal, an agreement or partnership with the schools and their students and students in general.
So, got it. So what is your current revenues? You know, do you generate any revenues right now?
Actually, we didn't launch right now, but we made like a market test. So we got already many clients. And when we're talking about the revenue, so in the first year, we have the pitch deck already, and it's like 15,000 in the first year.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. You said you turned down an offer for $3.5 million for 40% of your company that has no revenues. Why did you turn that down? It's a great offer.
Yeah, I know, because I have a co-founder from Australia.
And they don't like money in Australia? What's going on?
No, he's an experience. He's a really great expert in the educational field, this field. So he told me that we can make a cooperation and establish the platform, so we can wide our scales up to from the Arab countries to Australia and so on. So we are preparing our revenue or our pitch deck right now to be able to launch the platform.
All right.
So he gave me this model or this offer. Sorry.
Thank you so much. And Duránd have to jump off. He just texted me. So I guess no more questions to this founder. And thank you for your presentation. Duránd, your final remarks.
Yeah, so thanks so much to GGW Sharks. Nice to meet you, Sage. I sent you a connection on LinkedIn, so we can talk further. Ken, I want to get a chance to talk to you soon as well. And I'll be in the Bay Area, Zamir, so we'll be able to connect. I'll come out of the office. Now,
absolutely.
So the reason I mention my wife a lot, because she also has her own separate fund. And sometimes she may hear an idea that I don't understand, but she may be interested. So that's the value add of even having her here inside of the chat as well. But founders, please work on your stories, because a lot of times you guys go so far. Zamir took the words out of my mouth, figuratively speaking. I had no idea what the last founder was talking about. I didn't understand the business. Nothing about it. I'm sure it's pretty good guy, but it's hard for us to understand. I know you all are passionate about the hours you spend. Your head is down at home. You say, I can't wait to talk to investors. I'm going to give them the entire encyclopedia. But that's not the move. Like, keep it super simple. We know that people buy food. We know that people buy drinks. We know that people go to nightclubs. If you know you're in there, even if you're building the best AI technology, hey, we built some software for a nightclub because nightclubs should run more effectively. Now I want to tell you guys about the technology. So it sets a framework for us. And then you can go to the actual nature of the business. But work on your stories. Please work on your stories. I had other things to say, but that's the thing it really killed me today. So work on your stories, founders, and great job. It's not an easy thing, I understand, but the better your story, the better it resonates with us, the closer you are to possibly getting a check. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you next week.
And Duránd, just for a few seconds, just small announcement. We are planning a female-only Sharks soon, so your wife is invited. A female shark soon, so there will be a panel of only ladies judging the startups, and maybe in a month or so. So that will be fun.
Yeah,
Danil, I hope we'll see you on that one.
Yeah, you are invited as well, Sash.
Danil, you're gonna have to talk out as well, right?
Yeah, I have to. I'll be on the backstage, so you won't see me. Anyways.
No. So yeah, Danil, she's going to connect with you. She'll be there. In fact, she said hi.
Hey everybody.
Hey, we're
Hi.
looking forward to see you on the next pitch event as a judge as well.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
you're gonna have crazy.
No, it's just you for that one.
Oh, okay.
It's all ladies.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Thank you, Duránd. Okay, so guys, we had our pitches done for today, and we have 3 projects who hadn't pitched. So I put a note for myself to make sure that you guys pitch next time. Also, email us to make sure that we don't miss giving you a chance to pitch. So make sure you have the priority next time. It's not possible to do to give everyone a word within 2 hours. So we have a lot of startups pitching, and don't get upset that you didn't pitch. We try to give everyone a chance. And with this note, I'm gonna kick off the final remarks. And before I do that, please subscribe to our new matching app with investors, advisors, and other founders. I just sent you the links, and please subscribe to the next event next week. So just RSVP. And of course, we need your feedback for the event. Everything you say, we take it so seriously to try to improve the event when we can and where we can with our limited resources. And if you truly want to help us, please spread the word about Go.Global.world, share our event to help us find more great founders, to give them a chance to pitch in front of the sharks from around the world. So, dear investors, dear sharks, let's close the session. What would be your final statement? And let's start with Sash.
Well, thank you all for having me. It's really fun to see a lot of different ideas in a lot of different areas. I think someone said this in the chat as well, but practice makes perfect. I think I loved hearing all of the pitches today at various degrees of maturity, and I hope you continue to practice them. The one piece of advice I will say is we're always happy, at least I'm always happy to see it on here multiple times. We just ask that we don't have to give you the same piece of advice twice, right? So if you spent too long on the front end or the back end of your pitch and we told you that, totally fine. We'd love to see it again, but make sure that you take the adjustment. So.
Thank you, great words, and we were so happy to see you on our event today. So hopefully to see you next time too. Okay, so Ken, what would be your final remarks?
Yeah, I would definitely, when you introduce your company, say where you're located. I think that's really helpful for geography-based investors. I'm particularly focused on the US, so some things outside I kind of have to figure out, okay, I'm going to take notes and then try to connect people, but my investments are focused on the US. Other than that, say a little bit about your background. That way we know, like, hey, your domain expertise is in technology, it's in music, it's in whatever industry. That way we can really validate, are you the right people to try and solve this problem?
Thank you so much, Ken. Great to have you, and look forward to see you again. And your final closing remarks. So you will close the 12th session today, Zamir.
All right. Yeah, always a pleasure. I like to see people from around the world with their amazing ideas. One thing is important, when you have only 2 minutes, it's very hard to try to cram everything into 2 minutes. There are many perfect pitch presentations out there that raise millions and millions of dollars. But try to be very precise when you have only 2 minutes. It's time for you to wow the investor. So you gotta definitely practice. I would suggest putting things in wording. Put it in a text. Go over that text. Read it. In a normal pace to make sure you fit into 2 minutes. And if you need to refine the text, you can ask ChatGPT to do that for you. It can do a really good job, of squeezing larger text into a smaller text. You can say, okay, put it in 1,500 words, and it will rework everything and make it in a nice, language. So the second advice I would give for those products that are physical, put some picture on the background. It's because you don't have pitch presentations, right? So it's really hard to imagine what is it that you're building, what is that device, or what is that pill or something. So it's always good to have something on the background. And with your name, again, it's always good to have maybe a web address or the name of your startup next to your name and last name. This way, we can go and research online while you're doing your 2-minute pitch. Check it out. So, keep it going. Try to use the feedback that we give you, to better your presentation, to better your pitch, and just, never stop. Go get them. Thank you.
And we appreciate every shark participating in our event, and the feedback you guys give is so valuable. So I just want to make a quick announcement. Zamir has a great program, soft landing program, helping entrepreneurs from around the world land in the United States. Check it out on his LinkedIn, the LinkedIn of his company. This is great. You should look into it. It's really awesome. And on this note, I'm thanking everyone for your participation. This is the soft landing program Zamir has shared in the chat. Please join our next week event, and of course, please support us in social media. This is so important for us. Have a great rest of the day, and see you next Thursday. Take care, guys. Goodbye.